Now, this first case comes from a family staying at an Airbnb who believe they encountered something they can't fully explain.
Okay, everything. Oh, let me say.
Where's it's Marcus?
Right here. Right here.
No,
Right now.
Where's Marcus?
See how hard to open that?
He went in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Can it push by itself? Go.
Right.
Right, let's get that.
Right.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Sino gumagawa nito? Open it right now.
Asan kayo nandito kayo?
Nangyayari, dude.
Marami tayo na eh.
Ano, kanina may nag-open.
Is it loose? No.
Nakita mo.
Open!
Nakita mo.
Wala bang ilaw dyan? Bakit ba?
No! Stop!
No, I saw that.
No! It was fucking shaking. It was fucking shaking.
Can we go?
Open it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, go.
Now, this next one comes from a creator known as Yellow Sick. This is another cemetery one. He's alone working in a cemetery and a crematorium. Props to all of you who do that, the morticians and those who do this line of work. So he begins documenting something strange. He believes that whatever is at his job has now followed him home. Sounds familiar?
Lights, they turn off automatically at a certain hour. And I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna walk you through now, I have a friend that works that he would see and hear things coming from these furnaces when they're burning the bodies. So when I'm walking through here, they usually put the urns out to send to the families. So when I'm walking here at night, I walk right by these urns that they put on these tables here. And then I come down, freaking out. Fuck. crazy.
How many of you noticed the unusual activity that happened while he was recording? If you know, drop the timestamp. Let's go.
Okay. Hey, how long have I been working here? I've been here about 7 years now. Worked at a previous funeral home before this for a couple of years, but I've been at this location about 7 years. What else do we got? How far is the crematorium from where I'm sitting? It's actually right behind me. It's a few feet from here. I could walk in there pretty easily from here. Yeah. I have to walk back there every hour or so. Because there's a few entrances back there to make sure that no one's walking out there. Is it me on just shift tonight? Yeah, I'm the only one on shift. It's graveyard. I work all night by myself. Now, this is the necrophonic app. Haven't really gotten any full like conversations from it yet. Just kind of been hearing this like static chatter in and out. Let's see. Oh, maybe that's better. Yeah, I don't know what that is. This thing keeps going off. Oh, it's normal now. Does the box ever respond to stuff you're thinking instead of saying? I would say so. Sometimes I'm not even talking and then I would hear this random chatter in here.
What would you have done in this position? Now, I'm going to show you a few more clips, and this is where I believe things start escalating and starts happening in his own home. Is when you start trying to communicate with the things unseen.
Noise over here. Oh, it's coming this way. Yeah, it's definitely more chatter than I had before.
There are so many mixed beliefs in this community about using spirit boxes and other occultic objects to communicate with the undead. To each their own. I don't condone any of that. But people wonder why they start seeing shadows, hearing footsteps, hearing knockings, and having terrible sleep patterns, such as paralysis and night terrors. When you try to communicate with the dead, you don't know who you're communicating with.
couple weeks ago, I put up a video, and basically I was just sharing some of the things that have been going on in my life. And since I was a little kid, I've always had a thin veil. Have had a lot of activity in my house. It's a lot of poltergeist activity where I walk past like a light bulb, the light turns on. And this has happened not just on one appliance, it's happened on 2 different lights. It's happened on my electric fan multiple times. Cat light up balls go off. My daughter's piano that's battery operated, it's gone off, or it's played keys where I walk past in the middle of the night. Spirits touch me. This might be a coincidence. I don't know. I laid in bed and I heard this like kind of squeaky noise, and I shined my light and I saw a bat laying on my floor. It had moved. It was on the floor, and then when we went into the bedroom, it was gone, and we ended up finding it in the bathroom, and it was like hanging from the door hinge. And so unfortunately we had to kill it. They say wild animals that come into homes have rabies, and we didn't know. So we had to get the bat tested for rabies, but because it was killed and his head was smashed, like they couldn't test. So I had to get my first round of rabies shot today. Just the whole thing, like, it's just kind of weird to have a bat fly in your house and then like have like all the spiritual activity going on in your home. It just seems to me like maybe there's a correlation behind it. I just find it so weird that there was a bat laying on my floor, like literally 4 feet from me, and I didn't see it come in or anything, but it's now I have to get like all these rounds of rabies shots. It's been $4 at the vet for my dog, and it's just been a nightmare. And I just feel like there's gonna be more activity and things happening in my house, and I'm gonna share it with you guys, but I just wanted to share what happened this last week because it's been wild.
It just blinks. Oh my gosh. It just blinks. How's your hand if it's broken? Right. It just...
A lot of these TikTokers, these people who are chasing clout, they tend to use spirit boxes. They tend to use tools to communicate with these spirits. And they never realize how much worse it makes it. Even if things are staged, the things that can affect you mentally, affect you financially, spiritually, it's much more worse than getting views. Well, that's my opinion. What are your thoughts?
I just got in the mail today the PSB 11. So I'm specifically going to be using the ATDD, which is a temperature sensor that's built into this. Normally investigators use the red light for hot and blue light for cold for like yes and no answers. Try to communicate with whatever is in my house with this. Any beep or any temperature spike in this is going to be an answer for yes. If it beeps when I ask questions, it's yes. If it doesn't beep, the answer is no. Is there anybody in this place with me?
Now, let's follow this next case. What would you do if you lived next to a trailer that's believed to be haunted and is holding sinister secrets?
Jeez. Oh my god. What was that? Oh, jeez. Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait, did this guy have a kid? What is this?
Yeah, this kid died too, like down before, a long time ago.
In the following video, Diana Sudi and her brother are freaking out after seeing many police cars pulling up to their backyard.
One that now looks like there's another one.
There's another one? Oh, You're right. What the hell is... Here.
Look, I was.
It appears that all the policemen are checking out this trailer. Something about it must be worth examining because, as it seems, a lot of cops are going inside. According to Diana, the trailer belongs to her father and he's been renting it out to someone. However, the person living inside has not left the trailer for more than a week, which is why the police are here. They're conducting a welfare check to see if the man inside is okay, but upon checking, they discovered something rather unfortunate.
He's not coming out. They're doing a check.
The man had passed away. Now it's worth mentioning that during this recording, Diana and her brother didn't know the man had passed. They were just recording all the commotion that was going on in their backyard. But as they got closer to the trailer, Diana captures something that she can't explain. The following is her footage. Watch closely.
I'm
Right there, right there. Wait, they're going up to Tom's place. So wait, you said the light wasn't off.
Yeah, exactly. And I knew something was going on. Ah, that's a lot of cops.
All they do, what the hell? What?
They're coming out.
Are they calling something in? Going back over. What was Tom doing?
Is there like an app you can check or something to figure?
Neither Diana nor her brother had noticed the small figure. They don't recall ever seeing the silhouette from the recording, which makes them think that it was never there to begin with. However, the video shows otherwise. Something was actually there, but for some reason, they couldn't see it in person. But of course, the strangest part about this is the figure itself. At some point, the figure disappears behind a policeman.
Ah, that's a lot of cops.
To Diana, this might explain why the silhouette was completely elusive to them. Now, while this whole incident creeps her out, it doesn't compare to what happens when she and her father decide to go inside the trailer a few days after this occurrence. But Diana regrets helping him because, while checking it out, this happens.
Oh. You brought the phone.
Yeah. Hey.
Get ready. Could be a little smelly.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh my god. Jeez. Oh my god. Oh my god. What was that?
A lifeless crow suddenly falls out from an open cabinet, scaring the living daylights out of Diana. Although not sure how it just suddenly fell out, she has no words for what she finds while being inside the trailer. What she uncovers has left her beyond spooked. Watch.
Whoa. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, Jesus. Wait, did this guy have a kid? What is this?
Yeah, this kid died too, like down before, a long time ago.
While it may seem like nothing significant, these handprints are the reason why Diana hasn't been able to come back to this trailer. It didn't immediately click for her, but after going home and watching this video, she quickly sent it to her brother, who then told her exactly what she was thinking. While looking back at the video she took days before, she couldn't help but notice the size of the figure. Its stature is similar to that of a child's. Could it be, as Diana thinks, that the figure may have been the spirit of the man's child? Given what occurred on this night, she feels that its appearance was unlikely to be a coincidence.
What is this?
Yeah, this kid died too, like down before. A long time ago.
As with all videos, I'll let you be the judge on whether or not something paranormal was captured. But for now, this video remains a mystery.
So far, we've looked at people who believe they're documenting something unexplained. But some of these encounters are much bigger than the picture that we're looking at. Now, with that being said, let's dive into our true enemy, the spirituality of things, and a man that you've wanted me to bring on. Introducing Nathan Reynolds.
I come from a family that they believe they are descendants of the old gods. That's the best way to say it. That they believe that they are carriers of a seed line that gives them the divine right to rule. And that is what gives them justification spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, scientifically to dominate the lesser species known as humans. Humans literally means a lesser species of man. And they do not believe they are a human in the same way. They believe they are something other than. And that's descendants of this hierarchical ruling species that is from the celestial realm that descended in the days of Jared and came down and procreated with the daughters of men, and that they still trace their seed line back to Gilgamesh, till Nimrod. And so this is what the dynastic families believe they have, is a superiority in their genetics on one side and the ability to commune with the divine. And so their children are progenitors of these, some might call them abreactions, mutations, these skills, psychic abilities, that kind of stuff, all variants of it. And so they raise up their children in this path with which involves a tremendous amount of shattering of the soul and the identity, so that there's compartmentalization within, and it allows them the ability to train their child up in a way that makes them conducive towards the family. I call them the family. That's what I called them. You know, it's a better word for mafia than anything else. But no, we didn't call ourselves, like my family wouldn't ever call themselves Illuminists. Yeah. Right? They're Luciferian. That's for certain. They worship Hallel and Shahar, as he's really known, but different reasons than what people are ascribed to, you know. The Reynolds family on my father's side, they're all from the East Coast out here, and they're a dynastic family. You know, like my great-grandfather, a man named Don Potter Reynolds, was the architect, the head of engineering for the president, as the president of the American Society of Civil Engineering back in the 80s. And he's the one who put the new torch in the Luciferian hand of the Statue of Liberty of Columbia. And so he's a master Mason Luciferian in that way. And he was so much of the shot caller for the family at that time, especially when I came into being. And but my dad left that thing and moved out to the Southwest and started a different empire. And so a lot of how it works in the families is you got two main approaches. If you've got unlimited access to wealth, power, like really, I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about power, like unlimited raw power, where a phone call, the phone book, is far more powerful than the bank account, because it's who you know can open doors to power anywhere else in the entire world. And that's where everything was. So you can leave with nothing, but then you can go build. And if you need the phone book, there's a price to be paid. And the price to be paid is generally one of your children. This is like the reality. It seems bizarre to some, but a child is generally a chosen child out of the family, is given over as an offering to the family. And they're the ones who's going to go through this left-hand path. They're going to experience the desecration of their soul, their identity, and they're going to become an agent for the family that is owned completely. And there's like a legal trustee that is given over to it. There's a board of directors that sits over it. Like, these are real legal confines for how the wealth is distributed out there. And so in order to build your empire, you got to be able to go prove yourself. And that's what he ended up doing out in the Southwest. And he moved to Arizona, an area called Flagstaff, Arizona. And where I was born, that is a place that's a high place, Mount Humphreys. It's a volcanic peaks that sit there. And the top of it is where the Hopi Indian and a lot of people had gathered forever to commune with the fallen. They believed that the sons of the sky would come down every season at the winter solstice, and they would abide from the winter solstice to the summer solstice there. And so this was a place where they would give their daughters over to them. This is Hopi mythology, like 101, you know, and they would make these Kachina dolls, which were an effigy of the what I would say is a watcher angel, that would come, and the daughter would be given to him, and she would place that over her bed throughout her life, you know, and that's her familiar spirit, right? That's where I was born into. And the people that still practice that old religion, that's the way I refer to it, they still do this. And they still take their children up there to give them over to them on these high days. And so I was born into that, and I was born through that seed line and into that ritual magic world. And but my mother's side are extreme Catholics and Jesuits through and through. And so her father ran a different operation in Southern California, which was much more based on the child exploitation side of the equation. And he operated out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Lake Havasu, for those of you that are unfamiliar, sits in the absolute desert border of Arizona and California, and it has the Colorado River that's been dammed up, and they created an artificial lake there. And it was a secret military base back in World War II. It was called Site 6. And it was a stopover point crossing the desert for soldiers going there. And they would made it into a rest and recuperation area. And so it was a party city from its foundation. It had a lot of underground structures that were built into it as a refueling point. And in the 1960s, a guy named Robert P. McCulloch bought it. And he bought it, and he also purchased the London Bridge that crossed the River Thames. And
Before we go any further, I just want to say Nathan Reynolds is known for his testimonies and his extraordinary, fascinating claims that he has made over the years. I believe this man is a light bringer. And tonight we're examining some of his testimony. Many people think he's crazy. Heck, many people think I'm crazy. Many people think you're crazy because of the things we believe in. That's why we're high frequency chaos. We're the chaos in the spiritual, we're the chaos in the natural. Now, enough said. Let's continue down this rabbit hole of Nathan Reynolds.
Shipped over here stone by stone. And while they were doing that, they excavated 80 bodies that were entombed inside it in a practice that's called annulment, where you would sacrifice a person and bury them alive in the walls of the foundation. And so there's all these chambers in this facility of the London Bridge where they would do torture and all kinds of ritual stuff. But this is why the sing-song nursery rhyme, the London Bridge is falling down, that's a nursery rhyme to talk about how you have to give your children over to the government so you can hold up the London Bridge. And they would literally take their children. This is in the history book of the museum at Lake Havasu City. You can see these bodies of these children that were sacrificed inside the walls of that space. So he bought that as a charged object. He bought that as a portal mechanism. And they built in Lake Havasu City with another designer from the Disneyland. And they literally built a pleasure island. That's what it was facilitated for. And they designed it so that it would be a retirement community that would facilitate the exploitation of children. And that's exclusively what that city was founded and built for. And so the original founders of that operated out of Knights of Columbus predominantly as a wing of the Jesuits. And that's the business down there. It's an industry to cover up childhood. You got a bunch of old men running around with little boys, and everybody thinks they're grandchildren and nephews and nieces and all that rest. And so all along that area down there is where I would be taken from my earliest days and shattered, abused, traumatized, systemically so. But it's for behavioral modification purposes. That's the end goal of the abuse, is to shatter your willingness to resist and to break your will. And once they own you and you have been woefully convinced you can never get out, you give in. And that's what happened. I became the person who I was died, and the person they wanted me to become was what was born out of that disgusting phoenix ashes. I saw men become monsters physically in front of my eyes. Other things come out of people's mouths. Other things come through their eyes.
Is that metaphorically or literally?
It's literally. I've seen men do nasty things like an animal, but then I've seen men become not people.
Like literally
not
change.
people. Yeah. Okay. And there is like lycanthropy, and there's these understandings of what the watchers are capable of doing that most people are just woefully ignorant of. And that's why they're perishing. It's because they lack a basic understanding of history. And one of the predominant understandings of what a watcher, specific class of celestial beings, is capable of is augmenting itself. They can shapeshift. That is by their nature. They're literally called metaschizmazotoi in the Greek in the New Testament. And it's because he says it's marvel not, because Hasatan you could say like transforms himself. That's a good word for it. But he shapeshifts himself into an angel of light. And his messengers, his apostles, disciples, they do the same thing. And he's like, this is because they are capable of becoming anything they want to be in order to deceive on one side of the equation. And that's what they'll do. And so when people start engaging in these necromantic rituals and other stuff, and they start to seek the embodiment of these celestial ones, they can get these things on them and in them, and they can't contain them. And some of these guys who are messing with this stuff, who don't come from the bloodline, are incapable of cohabitating like a parasite and they feed off of each other and they can't handle it. And so that's why families are recruited from these bloodlines and children are recruited out, even if they don't know anything about it. Like you said, the vast majority of people who come from these bloodlines, there's a lot of muddying of the waters. There's a lot of purity that's been changed. There's a lot of half-breeds. There's a lot of quarter breeds, right? There's a lot of people that don't know this stuff and they start to get into lesser magic. And all of a sudden it's like the doors of everybody open to them. But that's why. It's because they can host these things better. Whereas those that don't, they get taken over by this stuff and they can't change back. They can't return, in a sense. Like, people become completely possessed and are incapable of expelling the darkness after that. And who do you turn to? You're like, you're going to go to the Catholic guy who's all into the same thing that you're into, you know? Like, most people don't understand what a real deliverance is required for somebody that has gone down this far down, where they are consuming people. Like, that's a deep, devastating, psychological, spiritual shock, physical, your liver, like the health. This is why I'm huge into health, because I've physically had to try to find ways to help people who have done all of these things. Like, the consumption of human blood does horrific things to the human body. You know, and this is a major practice within this. These families do drink blood. That's why we have these vampire class of people. It's not some kind of myth. People consume blood in order to live, extend their life force. Like, this is a normal thing. You don't understand, this is a religion, you know, and this is a highly effective means of augmenting yourself. And so these watchers will give people this power. Their priest class will dispense that to people who want to go into, you know, like what I come from down there in the Apache reservation, the people that slip between realms and become animals.
I always love hearing this man talk. Like I told you, I find it fascinating. A lot of you believe that he's been debunked, and a lot of you believe he's telling the truth. I, for one, believe he is telling the truth, because I believe we do live in a spiritual matrix. Everything that's being shown to us in the news, in the media, in social media, it's all there to deceive us. Come on, my Matrix fans out there. Yo, that's based on reality. And we can even do a deep dive in the Matrix and to connect it to the spiritual matrix of things. Because we're living in some crazy, crazy times. And with CERN, the way it has been opening up these gates and closing, they just recently shut down in June. I told you I got another CERN coming for you. Time has been altered. We'll get into that. All right. That's a whole different podcast, so let's continue down this one. All right. For decades, Hollywood, Hollyweird, and the dark music industry has been into some dark occultic stuff. I haven't done an episode on this in a while, so that's why I wanted to bring it to this episode, because of the things we're talking about, especially when it comes to Nathan Reynolds and what he believes, what I believe to be, you know, has a lot of truth. I have to be careful here, because a lot of things that he discussed, especially, you know, when it comes to the vampirism of not all vampires need teeth to drink blood. All right. We've covered Michelle Lammy. This woman. Yo, she gives me the creeps. And a lot of you could be saying, yo, she's an artist. But it's so weird. It is so weird how many of these movie stars and singers, pop stars, R&B stars are surrounding her. She's worshipped like some kind of queen of Hollywood. For those of you who know, you know. And tonight we'll examine some of these disturbing claims that's within these videos. Now, for this part, I have to say, treat this with discernment. Everything you see here, I am not going to say is 100% factual. Although I may believe a lot of it is, I have to say that as a disclaimer, because what we're about to uncover and go through right now, it's very sensitive and involves a lot of innocence. For those of you who follow this channel, you know what I mean by innocence. Enough said. Let's get diving.
The Kardashian family should have never let this leak because we've now discovered what they've been hiding for 20 years. Have you ever noticed that every time a man gets involved with a Kardashian, he ends up in a bad place? Even though there have been many, and we've forgotten most of them, they all seem to fall apart. Just think about Kanye West. He's the perfect example. And don't forget the transformation of the mother, who went from this to this. I still can't believe it. Then there's all the symbolism. For example, in this image, people found a hidden message formed by the way their arms are positioned. There was also Kendall Jenner, who made the mistake of posting one of her tattoos, which looks exactly like Baphomet on her finger. We've also seen the one-eye symbolism with Khloe. And then there are these photos where all the Kardashian sisters are doing the same pose, hiding even more meaning. The strangest thing about this family is a rumor that has been circulating for years, claiming that Kim channels certain deceased celebrities. The proof people point to is that moment when she receives a lock of Marilyn Monroe's hair.
Okay, this is either really cool or a little strange, but that's who you're doing business with, right? So,
what is this?
that is Marilyn's hair. So.
You can clone her.
That's awesome.
You can clone her.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I'm literally going to do some crazy voodoo shit that I going to do some crazy voodoo shit that I and I channel her.
But we also shouldn't forget that in American Horror Story, she literally played a Hollywood witch trying to take Emma Roberts' baby to gain fame, almost as if reality was being hidden inside fiction. Watch this clip.
He's 3/4 me. I mean, we used to have to use magic to make our creatures. The IVF produces miracles these days. You're a monster. Oh no, babe. I'm so much worse.
Prince wants you to come back and have pasta and pizza. I was like, oh, okay. And then Prince got up and left, and she got up and left. I'm
summoned by royalty.
And I show up at the Ritz-Carlton. There's a doorman there with a key. And it was like, Miss Anderson, Prince is on floor 42, and the room number is 4206. I was like, okay. Gave me my key, put me in this private elevator. I went up, put the key in the door opened. There was, an array of people in the living room, and I went back to find Prince, and we had pasta and pizza at 4:00 in the morning.
Picture this, you just got to hang out with one of the biggest musicians to ever exist. You get a private elevator to a private party in some bougie penthouse, and all you can talk about is the P words. Those same P words that every single one of these people seem to bring up in every interview they ever do. It's almost like those P words could mean something else. The comment section needs to help me out on this one, because I'm limited as to what I can say.
What is she wearing today?
I have my skin shoes on today.
Oh, yeah, you do. Oh, my God, in person.
In person.
Oh, my God, look. Touch these shoes, baby. Oh, finally, I get to touch that skin. Wow, fuck. Yo.
Is spotted here with Michelle Lamy, and just pay very close attention to how they treat this woman. Shortly after, this is her backstage of A$AP Rocky, and this woman has deep connections with every single celebrity. I mean, many pictures and videos of her and Usher, Kim Kardashian, Migos, Kanye West, A$AP Rocky, whatever, you name it, almost every single celebrity. But who is this woman? You look her up, it says she's a fashion designer, filmmaker, producer, whatever. But she's also married to Rick Owens, and now we're getting warmer. If you know anything about Rick Owens, he's known as the Dark Lord of fashion. Now, if this woman is married to the Lord of Darkness when it comes to fashion, and she's a fashion designer, this is literally her wearing his head, you start wondering, what is she doing with all these artists? Surely it can't be all fashion, right? And then you see pictures of her with Marina Abramovich, which is outspoken for her art, but also her spirit cooking. All I'm saying is be aware of what's really going on and do your own research. Rihanna.
All these celebrities had been hiding the real reason behind their change in appearance, and everything we thought about this is actually wrong. It's becoming more and more shocking, and you've noticed it too. They're all getting extremely thin. I'm not talking naturally or progressively. It's like overnight they became unrecognizable. The worst part is it's not one or two people, it's a pattern that keeps repeating over and over. Look at Ariana Grande and compare how she looked a few years ago to now. Alexa Demi, same thing. One day she had one face, the next day it was a completely different one. Not to mention Cynthia Erivo, Demi Moore, Nicole Kidman, and even more recently Dixie D'Amelio. They all went through the same kind of transformation. Extreme weight loss, facial features that change, a different look in their eyes, and every single time it happens at the same point in their career, when they reach a new level. That's where it gets strange. In this industry, everyone knows that the higher you go, the more is asked of you. Not just in their music or their acting, but especially physically. As if to access a certain circle, you had to go through a transformation. The most disturbing part is that nobody around them says anything. Their teams, their close ones, everyone acts like it's normal, like losing half your body weight in a few weeks is just a lifestyle choice. So either all these women decided to change at the same time by pure coincidence, or there's something they're being asked to do to stay where they are. Are they still the ones deciding, or is someone else deciding for them?
If I ever shave my face again, you'll know. It's a thing. It's not our world.
None of this is real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead.
Jim Carrey has never appeared in public again since his worst appearance this year, and it's even worse than we thought. Most people don't realize the impact his appearance at the César Awards had on his image. Everyone was talking about him, but not because of his performance. They were talking about the way he looked, because he no longer resembled the Jim Carrey everyone knew. Drawing leaked from the Epstein files, and it finally shows that the real Britney Spears has disappeared. In the most recent documents, Britney's name appears almost 10 times, and on this leaked drawing, you can clearly recognize the singer Britney Spears. But here's the big problem. Her name shows up in the files starting when she was only 13. I don't need to explain what that means. Whatever she went through with Jeffrey Epstein traumatized her for life, and it could partly explain her strange behavior in all the videos she films of herself. But she's not the only one who went through that. For Justin Bieber, it's even worse. His name appears way more times than Britney's, and if you remember in his Yummy music video, you can see a white and blue plate, the exact same colors as Jeffrey Epstein's house. There's no way that's just a coincidence. And when he released the Yummy video, he suddenly posted a bunch of his baby pictures. That's strange. And look closely here. The words yummy are written in the shape of a pizza, and Justin Bieber himself posted this image 7 years ago. And now that we know the truth, pizza actually means boy. Justin was trying to show us what he lived through. Now listen closely to this part of the lyrics in his Yummy clip.
Lost control of myself, I'm compromised. You're incriminating, no disguise.
And this is the state Justin was really in. The producers found him crying and completely devastated. It must have been incredibly hard to sneak that message into his own music video because of all the trauma and the horrifying nights he lived through. Experiencing something like that so young, they were never prepared for what was coming.
You know, when I did a deep dive on Justin, I really felt bad for this poor man. And not just some, many of these artists. You know, when they first get famous and they sign in contract, you know, they promise the world, but not knowing what it truly cost them. What does it profit if a man gains the whole world, but yet loses his soul? I did a topic on Pizzagate, and my video got removed. I got a community strike. I really got deep in that video. It was only up for about 12 hours before it got down. I had to go through a whole YouTube course on, you know, etiquette, and, you know, some things are, well, this channel can't really cover. So that's why I cover the spiritual. I cover the spiritual things behind the things of Hollywood and the dark music industry, because that's where the real evil resides. That's who we're truly battling. Not the vessels of the flesh that's influencing, that's being muses, that's clearly manipulating generations. But I'm gonna show you a few more clips on Hollywood and the dark music industry.
Death doesn't scare me, but you know what does? The music industry. So this creator, Epic Paranormal, just made a video about how he went to a Lana Del Rey concert and the vibes were really off. It wasn't only like the spooky vibe going on stage, but the fans in the crowd were doing really abnormal things. Like there was this one fan that was like screaming the entire concert, begging Lana Del Rey to unalive him. Like it was not normal crowd fan behavior. He said he kept trying to take pictures and every time he did, his phone would distort the faces. Like, what is going on? And then how do you tell me that this is Lana Del Rey? Like that does not look like, that looks like a demon. Like she looks like a man in a mask and like a coat and like, ugh. And to give you a reference on why this is so weird, she was dressed like this. And it's not like one photo or one person, it was everyone. This girl upped the contrast of the photo and you would think that it would make her look more like Lana Del Rey, but she looks less. She looks more like a demon or a man in a mask. Now you could argue he is a paranormal content creator. Is this just content he's trying to make? Who knows? But yeah, people are terrified. What do you think? Follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more. It really helps when you interact.
Really? Are you beginning to question the reason for all this foo-for-ah after
You
all
mean
this?
showbiz?
Showbiz, yeah.
The biz?
The biz.
I think it's hideous. Except for the audiences.
Uh-huh.
I like them, but I don't like all the, well...
Junk that goes with
the
it.
bloodstained runners that separate the artist from the audience. Well, you know about that. You all know about that. Maybe you're out there. I don't know.
Starbucks and his pals get together every month and they have a little ceremony where they eat a very rare, very expensive type of meat. I provide that meat.
Oh, God. Are they eating...
No, it's not what you think, okay? Yeah, it's people. Yeah. Yeah. No, but they're already gone. So...
Never had a little girl.
And he has Warbucks in his palace. And he's never eaten a kid, okay? All that meat is adult meat, and it's part of the ritual.
Ricky.
Okay.
That show is riddled with little hidden messages like this. If these guys always put it right in our faces for everyone to see but no one to believe. That show alone I could have content for a year straight. The amount of little hints and things they put in it. And I don't think they'll be stopping anytime soon because everyone will still watch the show. Everyone will continue to support what they do.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
No?
Nope.
Why not?
You know what the crocodile does when a victim...
Are you changing the subject?
The natural prey?
Yeah, I know. You told me all that, but what about the girlfriend?
No, I don't have a girlfriend. No, I'll never get a girlfriend.
Why? Give me a kiss.
Sophia, a grown woman, leaning into a 5-year-old space, interrogating him about girlfriends and pressurising him for a kiss. Some say it's just a joke. Just ask yourself, if the roles were reversed, would you be saying the same thing then? Then look at the pizza. In this clip, it's treated like a ritual offering.
Before you go, you keep talking about pizza and you say there's no good pizza here in LA.
A prop is brought out by a stranger
My friend Edgar, I think you're going to like his pizza.
to trigger a reaction for the cameras. Let's talk about this boat video because the comment section on other platforms are losing their mind. What is really going on in this video? Who are these children? The woman holding the pillow is Michelle. She basically runs the cultural underground. People call her a fashion icon, but the biggest names in Hollywood treat her like a literal high priestess or royalty. From A$AP Rocky, Madonna, Travis Scott. In the industry, she mentors you. It's almost an initiation. The person with the painted face is an underground performance artist. But I looked into who the kids in the back are because I really wanted to know, and they are local Venetian art students. Honestly, this whole video is just strange.
Hollywood Records contract, and I'm signing it because I'm going to have my first record ever and selling my soul to Hollywood Records. That's what I'm doing right now. Hi!
Selena Gomez should have never said those words in front of a camera. The day she signed her contract with Hollywood Records, she said that she was going to sell her soul. Selena really did post that video 16 years ago, but today, nobody is laughing anymore when they see what she has become, because the Selena we see today has nothing to do with the one we used to know. And I'm not talking about a normal evolution. I'm talking about a complete change. First, her voice. Listen to any recent interview and compare it to the older one. It sounds like someone else speaking. The tone, the rhythm, even the way she chooses her words, nothing matches anymore. Then there's her face. The proportions are no longer the same from one appearance to another. And the most disturbing part is her height. She actually got taller even though she's 33 years old, which is simply impossible. People compared her photos side by side to discover all of this, and the explanation makes no sense naturally. And then there's everything else. The empty stare during interviews, the behavior that no longer matches the reserved and discreet person she used to be, public reactions that make no sense when you knew the old Selena, and she appears less and less in public. Every appearance is calculated, controlled, as if nothing can be left to chance. She told us herself that day in her video, but now the only question left is...
You know, sometimes watching these clips, they're more disturbing than some of the paranormal and the possession videos that I've done, because it makes you really think of the evil that exists in Hollywood. I am not coming against any individual person. I'm coming against the principalities and the wickedness that's in high places, spoken of in Ephesians. Those are the ones I'm coming against, that's using these people to influence us. Man, we have to have our eyes open, our spiritual eyes open. And that's for all of you in every single different faith or belief that you're in. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, and these type of videos, it's worse than the dark web because it's right in front of us. The signs, the subliminal messaging, the music videos, the demonic activity, the rituals that's occurring. And they are intentionally trying to curse us and break us and turn us against each other with wicked agendas. Discernment is the most important time in these days. I had to do this video, especially following Nathan Reynolds' testimony, because I've shown you the ties here. I've shown you one man's testimony, and I'm showing you things that are actually occurring in Hollywood and the music industry. And you've noticed I had three main researchers that we're going back and forth with. These three people, I've done extensive research on like different perspectives, but I like the way these three individuals think. Follow their links. It's in the, if you look at my videos, their names are at the very bottom of the screen. Follow them. They're the ones standing against the grain. They're the ones that are putting themselves out there along with myself, as well as myself, and a few others, because only a few of us that are speaking against the grain. But here's the thing. I'm not coming against the flesh. I'm coming against the spiritual beings that's attacking these, that's using these people to influence us and our children. I have a few more clips to show you. Stay with me, okay?
First of all, for my benefit and your benefit, I just want to rebuke that. For those who are not familiar with what backmasking is, it's similar to the imagery we see, the things that they put in films subliminally that sit there and your subconscious mind picks up on it. You don't see it, but your mind picks it up. This is the same. You don't hear it, but your mind picks it up. Now, some people will say it's a coincidence and it's not purposely or intentionally done by the artist. But just look at the images they've used in the video. Very strange, very creepy, make of it as you want. I'm only here to just point it out.
Did you know that many celebrities have had to sacrifice people close to them, and we thought we knew why, but the reason was far darker. Very few people know this, but Kylie Jenner's close circle was affected, and she never dared to talk about it. Her hairstylist and her best friend both died mysteriously at just 34 years old. There was also DaBaby, who saw his father die the very same day he reached #1 on the charts, as if it was the price to pay. I've rarely seen something that strange. And we can't forget Michael Jordan, one of the greatest figures of all time, yet at the peak of his career, his father was murdered. The most well-known and shocking case is Kanye West and his mother Donda West. He says it himself in this video.
I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed. Me too. You understand? Nah, appreciate Michael Jordan. What about him? His dad, right?
A few years ago, there was Diana, Princess of Wales, who died tragically in a car crash. And strangely, her companion also died shortly after. When you know what the princess was trying to do, you realize how unusual it is. And the worst might be what happened to Mariah Carey. She lost her sister and her mother on the same day while her career was taking off. That alone is disturbing. Every time it seems to happen right when they are about to become famous. But is it really a coincidence, or is something else hiding behind all of this? I know the list goes on, so tell me this.
I'll switch your wife out and I'll put another one of your wife inside of her body. And they're walking around and you think that's your wife and it's not your wife. This is what's going on. It's no longer, like I said, it's no longer spiritual. We figured out how to, turn into spirit and exchange the soul.
Watch this.
I'll switch your wife out and I'll put another one of your wife inside of her body. And they're walking around and you think that's your wife and it's not your wife. This is what's going on. It's no longer, like I said, it's no longer spiritual. We figured out how to, turn into spirit and exchange the soul in order to control the vessel. So if I have the vessel and I'm just nothing but spirit, I can ruin your life. That's what everybody has been going through.
What do you think? How long have they been bringing children blood sacrifices to that pyramid?
More than 1,000 years.
Oh my God.
More than 1,000 years. And I mean, and it's still going on today. I mean, there are still, I promise you, we have rescued children out of the most horrific of circumstances. And yes, there was pornography involved. Yes, there was all those things involved, but there's also too unbelievably horrible things that have to do with their blood and have to do with ritualistic, satanic things. And all of that is also tied into the Mayan culture. And it's been going on in that region for at least a millennia. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. So do the setup. Were you at the pyramid when you saw this being?
No, I wasn't. I had been at the pyramid. I had been there. But even at the hotel we stay at, there's a giant rock that has a giant's footprint in it. And it's part of the floor of the actual hotel where we stay at. There's giant sightings around there. There's giant footprints within the rocks. There's megalithic structures. And it's just part of the local culture down there. And the mythos of the narrative down there is that there are giants here. And I had really thought that most of that was just, myth and things like that until I actually saw one, and that changes things.
All right, in this episode, we discussed the paranormal, we discussed some poltergeists, we discussed Nathan Reynolds, and dark, weird, dark music industry. There's a lot of allegations that were said tonight, and I leave it up to you to be your own judge. I bring the clips to you, and you, at the end of the day, with my commentation, become your own judge. Now, I don't like leaving you down these dark, depressive rabbit holes. So, let's bring you back up.
Be real still or they gonna cut your finger off, Barry.
I ain't moving.
Oh, ooh. Exhale, Barry. Oh, I thought they cut your finger off, Barry. I saw that.
I'm sweating under my fur.
Oh, Lord. Oh. So you doing real good, Barry. Just like I told you, be strong. Hold your breath, stay still, and be strong. You can do it. We can do this. Oh, no, I can't do this.
But those are your bills. No, those are yours.
These turn to your house. I'm living right here.
You racked up
Rack. I don't know what rack is. I ain't racked nothing.
Yeah, you racked up those bills.
Those look like your bills.
See?
What?
True Point.
True Point. Who is that?
That's you.
That ain't my name. That's your bills.
That's your bills.
I don't even get bills. I'm on Pedicare and Medicaid, and all I have is a $10 copay. You still think that's my bill?
Yeah.
If you move, you lose, okay? I'm going to get your fluffy toy. I'm going to play with it. You better come get me. Okay, that didn't work. Want a treat? Want to go outside?
Is that my mama? Mama, hey, I was just trying. Mama, let me explain. Hey, I wasn't trying to get in trouble.
All right, thank you for being here as we do this deep dive. I want to give a special shout out to all of you, each and every single one of you who watches these videos, who likes and comments. I appreciate that. And also, I plan on doing giveaways soon. I plan on doing a 3-month membership giveaway. So I gotta figure out how to do this this contest. But things are coming new to this channel. Also, special guest appearances. I have my sister who's coming to talk about her experience with my father and her own demonic encounters very soon. And also, I have another member who I will be interviewing on this channel. I won't tell you her name yet. I'm gonna lock it in with her, and then we're gonna talk. She has a very, very powerful testimony. It even relates to what we just went over just now. All right. So, okay, stay safe, stay blessed in these dark, deceptive times. HFC sign out. Peace.